The Zach Wilson narratives have been swirling this week, but let's take a look at the All-22 and I'll show you why I was impressed by his growth against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It's Luke here from PLAJ, and we are back in the film room with another All-22 breakdown, and finally, I'm here with the Zach Wilson review. I want to apologize for this being delayed. I've had some personal things through the week, but let's get into it right now. We've got to bust these narratives online and with the national media that Zach was the reason the Jets lost this game. I think through 3.5 quarters, he was the Jets' third best player on the field. If you want to evaluate a quarterback in a 5-minute window, down by 20 on the road with no pass protection, that is completely your prerogative. But you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry. There were so many areas of growth, and we're going to look at those right now. We're starting with Zach Wilson in the pocket, a play action strike over the middle to Garrett Wilson. You show me how you can execute this play any better. The location is ideal on the in-breaking route, and you know Garrett's taking that to the house. But it all starts with the play action fake. Zach Wilson with the extension to Dalvin Cook, and look at the bite we get here from the linebackers. Stepping up in the hole, we've got the run fake from the offensive line, and right now, you tell me if that's going to be a run or a pass play. The influence of Aaron Rodgers is there. Foot in the ground, one hitch, and great location. We put that in the ideal spot for Garrett Wilson, and that's why he's able to break the tackle, beat the angle, and take it for a touchdown. When Zach Wilson was protected, and that wasn't very often, he showed this kind of location and accuracy over the middle, and this is an area of growth. It kept the Jets in the game. He kept the Jets in the game, but there was not a whole lot of help. Here's another outstanding Wilson-to-Wilson connection from the game against the Cowboys. Yes, the location is fantastic, but for me, this is about the pre-snap identification as well. It's man across the board, let's take a shot to Garrett Wilson at the bottom of your screen. That's exactly what Zach does. As I let this roll, I want you to focus on the quick 3-step drop, how he hangs in the pocket and then delivers a strike on the back shoulder. This is great timing, great execution, and a great feel between two players that wasn't there last year on tape. From the end zone angle, you're going to see it perfectly. Clean footwork, good alignment, but look at this location. That is throwing a receiver open. Garrett Wilson is covered. Garrett Wilson has no separation, but that is just the ideal location on the back shoulder from Zach Wilson. He is the reason this is a completion, and they rip off a 15-yard chunk. This is growth, guys. I'm telling you. The old Zach Wilson puts this on the wrong shoulder. He throws it too far outside. It's an incompletion. It's a pick six. Instead, it is perfect execution from the New York Jets. But what impressed me most about Zach Wilson's Week 2 performance was his willingness to step up in the pocket. We just haven't seen this from him. So often he'll fade back and take a sack, or he'll drop his eyes. That wasn't the case. On this occasion, Zach Wilson out of shotgun feels Micah Parsons from the outside, steps up and then breaks contain, and look at this off-platform throw. My goodness, that might be the best one of Zach Wilson's career. He is drifting to his left, he has both feet off the ground, and he delivers a dime over 2 Cowboy defenders. Ends up being incomplete because Allen Lazard doesn't get his feet down. Also, Dwayne Brown, once again, beaten like a drum to the outside. He gets called for a hold, but this is about the pocket presence of Zach. Feel him coming, little step up and slide, then we break contain, extend the play, and we have magic in our arm like we saw against the Tennessee Titans a couple of years ago. This is growth from Zach Wilson because he can win from inside and outside the pocket, but also it's just a ridiculous throw. That is a great rep. And this play just further emphasizes what we were just talking about, Zach Wilson's improved pocket presence and internal clock. This time, Zach Wilson's out of empty from shotgun. I want you to watch how he feels pressure from both edges. A subtle movement up in the pocket, we're going to break contain, and once again throws a strike to Allen Lazard. This is efficient quarterback play, but I can't stress enough, this is a rep where Zach Wilson takes a sack last year. He steps up though, and then we know he can make plays outside of structure and outside of the pocket, but it's about giving yourself the opportunity to do that. Right here, top of the drop, you can see very quickly, pressure from both sides. Zach Wilson gets skinny, little hop up in the pocket. It's just about that natural feel, knowing when someone's coming around the edge, little pocket movement, very subtle, and then we've got to go because nothing's open over the middle. This is another really nice rep from Zach Wilson, and I'm telling you guys, this isn't just me being a Zach Wilson homer. The tape was impressive through 3.5 quarters. I just can't stress that enough. But let's focus in now on the 2-minute drive that Zach led before halftime, and the key feature was his ability to scramble and make plays with his legs. If the Jets can tap into Zach Wilson, the rusher, they're going to have a more efficient offense. The first example, Zach Wilson also shows off great vision and the pocket presence we've just talked about. You're going to see here off the snap, nickel blitz, left-hand side of your screen, Zach identifies it. He slides up in the pocket and he uses the speed and athleticism. But he can't make this play if he doesn't identify and have this little upwards climb in the pocket, really subtle movement, and he's off against man coverage. When you see the DB's backs turned, it is the perfect time to rush. Zach Wilson takes advantage of it. He keeps the sticks moving, and it's a big gain for the New York Jets. Nice pocket movement and really good understanding of the offense. But it happened again 2 snaps later. Zach feels pressure from both edges. He steps up and climbs. Nothing's there. And we're just off to the races. But at the back end, he also slides and protects himself, which I absolutely love. But as we've said all video, pause it at the top of his drop. We've got 2 Dallas Cowboy defenders who have beaten their man around the corner. Zach Wilson, shuffle up, keep yourself clean, and turn a negative play or a potential negative play into a 16-yard gain. This is really nice quarterback play. This is the maturation and understanding the parameters of the offense. If nothing's there, if your offensive line's getting beaten and you see man coverage, step up in the pocket and use that athleticism to go and make a play. Really good job from Zach Wilson. And the last positive play we're going to look at in this review really emphasizes Zach Wilson's newfound ability to navigate a muddy pocket. This time, from under center, Zach Wilson, play action fake, and at the top of your drop, freeze it right here, Zach has Garrett Wilson wide open on the deep sit. He identifies it, he's ready to unload on this throw. You could say he's a hair late, but I quite like the timing. But Dallas Cowboys get interior pressure. What does Zach Wilson do? He dances to the side, finds a throwing lane, and drops his eyes to get the check down. This is great growth from Zach Wilson. He doesn't get caught staring at the number 1. If you feel pressure, make a movement, find a pass to your check down. He does exactly that. From the end zone angle, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Coming off the back of this play action fake, he's ready to rip this football. He feels this pressure coming from the right-hand side. He's not going to get this ball off. We're just going to shift our body to the right-hand side, open up a throwing lane, and find Breece Hall. Location's fine. Breece can't make the catch. It just bounces off his hands. But this is nuanced quarterback play. The ability to, number 1, just move in that pocket and not take a sack is really, really impressive, because this is mayhem inside a very tight pocket. But it's then the ability for Zach Wilson to just drop his eyes and find the check down and keep the play alive. This is what I've wanted to see, and it's exactly what we got against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you, I know there's going to be a couple of negative plays that will go over from the last quarter, but all in all, this was a really pleasing performance from Zach Wilson. Now, in the interest of balance and fairness, let's take a look at a couple of the Zach Wilson interceptions from the 4th quarter. But before we do, I once again want to stress, the Jets were down 20 points with 8 minutes to go on the road against one of the best teams in the NFL with 0, and I mean 0, pass protection up front. Let's take a look at this play, hey? I want you to focus on Micah Parsons, number 11, toying with Connor McGovern. Over the center. Look how quickly he just blows by the center. Zach Wilson's got pressure in literally a second. Once again, he's got to scramble. He's got to do it off platform. And this time, yes, he makes a mistake. But why are we asking our young quarterback to be on the move, having to bail because of pressure on 70% of the snaps? This was just disgusting from the Jets' offensive line. But now let's talk about Zach Wilson. Initially, you can see Micah Parsons just toying with McGovern. He breaks the pocket. Really good decision, keeps himself clean. Right now, he's got an opportunity to make a play, but you can see here the cornerback number 1 is just sitting, squatting with his eyes on Zach Wilson. Yes, this is man coverage, but you can see him wanting to peel, anticipate this play. He knows he's not throwing the ball to Dalvin Cook in the flat, so he comes off his man and then makes the interception and takes the ball away from Garrett Wilson. This is Zach Wilson not seeing the underneath defender or thinking he's going to be a factor because it's man coverage, but you still have to understand that they can anticipate and peel off their man and get additional depth. So yes, this is a mistake from Zach Wilson, but again, It's because he's having to make plays outside the pocket and he's having to force things because the Jets are down 3 scores with 8 minutes to go. Let's have a little bit of context when we discuss football. And on this last play, another Zach Wilson interception, I actually love the decision to throw to Garrett Wilson on the little stutter go top of your screen. I think the accuracy and location of the ball is fine, but as we let this roll, the issue you're going to see from Zach Wilson is the trajectory of the throw, how he gets too much air underneath the football and that allows the center field safety to make a play and get the interception. But once again, this is a quarterback down by 20 with 6 minutes to go who's trying to throw a 70-yard bomb because the Jets are just reeling and they have not been able to protect anybody all day. In saying that, Zach Wilson still has to have the understanding and wherewithal to throw this ball on a line, frozen rope, and just fire that ball in there in the hole, but he doesn't do it. He tries to layer it, and as I said at the top of the play, he gets too much air on this football, kind of telegraphs it, and the safety makes a play. I can live with this though. I can live when you're down by 20 points, forcing a couple of interceptions. To me, the way I evaluate football, these two plays don't sour the entire performance. The growth and maturation was still there when it counted, but the Jets lost touch with the football game. So guys, there's my evaluation of Zach Wilson's performance against the Dallas Cowboys. I can already see the comments. I'm a Zach Wilson homer. He's not the answer. Just have a look at the film. I wanted to show you today that Zach Wilson wasn't the problem, that he showed serious growth in numerous key areas, and I think he can still win football games for the New York Jets.